Hello and welcome to Dancers Support Mission by Sabine Chalon for Shine Your Light. Today we have a new episode of Dancer to Dancer, Words of Wisdom. And the goal of those interviews is to meet the person behind the dancer and share with you all not only the highlights of someone's career, but also the challenges behind the scenes. Truly, my wish is to bring healing into the dance world, dancing to heal, healing to dance, one artist at a time and one personal story at a time. Hopefully, this will allow you to embark or reflect on your own personal healing journey, inspired by others' experiences. So today, I am delighted to welcome Sébastien Mari. So Sébastien, thank you so much for taking the time to be with me today. It's going to be weird to speak English with you because we're both French, but doesn't matter. We do that so that everybody can understand. So welcome and thank you for being present.
Hello. Thank you very much for welcoming me. Yes.
So Sébastien, we know each other for a very long time. I mean, I think we just talked about that in 1989 with the Jeune Ballet France.
Yes, it was the beginning of the beginning, yes.
Yeah, for both of us. Huh? I mean, yes. I spent only 1 month with you guys, but you did the whole year. So we're going to talk about this. So like I do with all my guests, I want to know a little bit of your story. So could you tell us when you started dancing, where, and when you decided to become a professional dancer?
Well, I started dancing when I was 13 years old because I was following my big brother, because my big brother is a musician and he was going to how can I say? I mean, he was going to the conservatoire, and at that time, the music conservatory and the dance conservatory was together in the same building, and he had a lot of friends in the dance department and a lot of boys. And I was always following my big brother and say, oh, I want to go with you, play with you. And his friends were dancers. And one day they say, oh, why don't you come and join us in a class? You will see. And I was 13 years old, and I started a class, and I thought it was cool. I was with 20 boys.
So that was classical ballet?
In La Rochelle, classical ballet, yes.
Cool.
And I had this teacher called Kylian who immediately welcomed me and was with her goodwill, like really make me feel like I was at home and I could develop some joy, you know.
Right.
And I started like this, and before that I was doing tennis, I was doing a bit of football, and I started to go dancing like twice a week. And then after a year, I said, oh, I like that. I was spending my Christmas time, my Easter time, all my holidays, I wanted to dance. And so by the age of 15, I said, I think it's what I want to do. And it was just, my life was around dancing. Since
and that was okay for your parents? I mean, they were supportive?
Yes, because I was continuing to study, you know, and they said, okay, you can do whatever is. For them, it was like a hobby first, you know, but they could see that I was really involved, you know, and I wanted to, really passionate about it. And yes, and then I finished my studies, and the same year, I said, okay, I'm going to audition. So I went to Paris for this audition for Jeune Ballet France, and it worked.
How old were you then?
17.
Okay, so that was really short after you started.
Yeah, I mean, at that time, you know, I mean, I was always athletic since I was a kid, so maybe, you know, it was just to put me on place and to give me a bit more knowledge of dance, but so it was quite fast somehow, yes.
So the Jeune Ballet France, for those who don't know, maybe you can explain a little bit the concept, because anyway, we'll tie up what you're doing now. So
it's a company that was created in the beginning of the 1980s, to help young dancers coming out from school, to give them extra formation or preparation to enter in the big dance world, you know. And first it was Rosella Hightower that who created it, and then Robert Berthier took over the directionship, and he was taking like dancers that he after competition or audition, and it was a young company of 16 dancers, I think I remember, or 18, I don't remember. Yeah. Like, and we had in the rep, we had a lot of shows, and in the repertoire we had a show which was an educative show about the history of dance. Yes, so
it was a bit like a marathon, right?
Yeah, no, but it was amazing how successful it was. So for us was suddenly coming from school and working like 9-10 hours a day, going on tour, having like 2-3 shows a day, always like for a year, and I stayed for 2 years. So for 2 years it was like really a challenge physically, but after that it was, I mean, I was ready anywhere. Like about my classical technique was better, my contemporary technique was better, my concentration was better,
and stamina, because I mean you learn what it is to be, you
know,
yes,
exactly, stamina, and more maturity too. Mm-hmm. So I think that helped me a lot when I auditioned for the Nederlands and theater, you know, and well, so I think, yeah, I guess it helped me, you know.
So that was your first company, NDT. So I remember we met again there because I was in Amsterdam and you
yes, were there. Exactly. Yes, because I was in NDT, in theater, and at that time was so isolated. And I was all the time in Amsterdam, going out, trying to see if there were French there. So it's how we met, you know. Yeah. And also I had friends in the company also from the past. I remember also. So yes, so that's how. And I was first in the junior company of NDT, which was called NDT2, and great. I mean, really there.
I think those were the golden years, huh, of NDT that time.
If I say that now, they're gonna kill me now, because they're gonna say no, the golden year is now. Each generation they say it's a golden year, but for us, of course, because for me, when I was in this company,
was still there, and you know, and he yes. really had a set of dancers that was really amazing. I mean,
every time I was working with Kylian, for me, I was in awe. It was just, I mean, I don't know how to explain. It just, you admire a person, you respect the person, and without knowing, you learn so much from this person. And not only about his choreography, his way of teaching us his choreography, but or creating with us, but also about the whole concept of his company. For example, we learned about respect, so respectful about the older dancers. I was always observing, listening, and with that you learn so much. And everything was natural, you know, when to dance was being human, not machines. And this for me was
created an atmosphere, right? He's just persona, you know,
yeah,
present.
Exactly, yes. I mean, not everything was
rose.
Well, rose, I don't know if you say that in English, like or gold, you know, but definitely it was for me a big flux of knowing, getting to know the dance world, because there I had amazing experience. I got to know William Forsythe, I got to know Ohad Naharin, of course Hans van Manen. Also I had so much lovely time with Hans van Manen, Matsek. So, you know, with these four already, it's like from this time for me was like, wow, I think I succeed like a big goal in my life, you know. And And then, of course, a lot of other choreographers that came, and maybe less known, but that was cool to work with, like Nacho Duato, for example. I met Nacho Duato in the Nederlands theater. Mm-hmm. And then it's where the year of Jiri, Kylian was leaving the directionship. I was like, what's going to happen? I need to have a leadership, for me, So that was my goal. So then I spoke with Nacho Duato. He said, I have a contract for you. So I said, okay, I'm going to go to Spain, Madrid. And yes, and I arrived there, and I was like, it's going to be like NDT in Madrid, with sun, and so it was very nice too. So it's how I moved to Madrid, from the Netherlands to Madrid.
And then, because it didn't stop there.
Yeah, no. And then with Nacho was, also a nice choreographer, but I thought I was not going into there was a moment I said, I don't think I want to go into this dancing anymore. I wanted to get more knowledge about more variety of dance. Mm-hmm. So I got a contract in Ballet Gulbenkian, which was a company in Portugal, in Lisbon, and doesn't exist anymore because it was a private company, and they decided suddenly to wow. Yeah, already more than 10 years ago they stopped it. So and there it was one of the company at that time, in the year 2000. I think I was there in 2002, but in the beginning of 2000 there were this company was Geneva Ballet, Ballet Gulbenkian, Nederlands Theater. There were the three companies where you have a lot of contemporary rep, and almost the same choreographers turning. But the vision of Ballet Gulbenkian was more contemporary, let's say. There I developed my improvisation skills, my theater skills much more, and it was corresponding to my age. So I was 30 years old. I felt I wanted to not only dancing physically a lot, but also learn more interpretation skills. Mm-hmm. And then I stayed for 3 years. We had also the director left, and I was not sure about the new director. I tried to work with him. For me, it was not really what I wanted to do, and I say, okay, maybe it's time, because I had a lot of ex-colleagues from NDT. They were doing freelancing, and they were working with a Japanese choreographer who I loved. And I was like, oh my God, I wish I could work with him. Saburo Teshigawara. Mm. And he was, beginning of the 2000, he was really popular in Europe. He was getting a lot of support from the European community to make a creation. And he was mixing with his dancers. He was taking dancers, freelance dancers, so a lot of ex-NDT dancers, or from Switzerland also. And we will gather together, and he will create a piece in 3 weeks, 1 month. Mm-hmm. And we will tour it. And I did 3 creations with him, and was great. Was for me was another big
dimension.
Master. Yes, another way of improvisation, of movement knowledge, concentration with him. Because when you start to be freelancing, you're not in the golden cage, being a dancer in a company,
And suddenly, I can say cage and golden together.
Yes. No. When you're freelancing, you spend hours and hours. You participate for the light rehearsal. You participate for the sound check. You have to do everything. Sometimes also you have to help to put the dance floor. But actually, that was great, because you really come back to the essence of what is dancing. What is part of a project, of a show. And especially with Saburo Teshigawa, I learned a lot about lighting. I was amazed by his sensitivity of lighting. I was like, he was saying, okay, can you move to the next cue? And I was like, I don't see the next cue. Yes. He was like, come beside me, you're going to see it. Can you see it? I said, no, I still don't see it. I said, pay attention, you know. And when you really pay attention, it was so delicate, and there was a change of light cue, you know. Mm-hmm. So that was amazing to share that with this. And I did this for 5 years. I did also as freelancing, not only with him, I did a lot of projects. I came back to Amsterdam. I worked with Nanine Lining, for example, a Dutch choreographer, and others. And
I think it's really brave to, you know, become a freelance dancer, because it's hard. I mean, you know, you really have to handle it all by yourself, right? You don't have the structures that carries you.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't question myself, you know, it's just what I wanted to do it. So I don't know if it's brave or not. I think nowadays it's more difficult.
Yeah.
Because there was a time where there was a lot of support by the institution for freelance projects, you know.
A lot of projects.
Yes. So that's why people wanted suddenly to have freedom, no? Like Berlin also. Berlin was the golden place to go, you know, because everything was free, a lot of support. You know, that was a fashion to go to Berlin or to do freelance, you know. I think nowadays it's more complicated, and especially after the pandemic. Now it's not the same. So I didn't question myself if it was brave or not. I just did it, you know. And I got and there was a moment or so I was involved with a circus. When I moved to Paris, and I loved to do trapeze and aerial acrobatics. Mm-hmm. And I got approached by a company, and I was about to join the company, but at the same time, a friend of mine became the director. Pascal Touzeau became the director of a dance company in Mainz in Germany, mm-hmm. a theater. And he asked me to come as a dancer first, and also to in the future to become his assistant. So I thought, maybe I was only 39 years old, you know. I was like, okay, so I think I can still dance, you know. I felt great in shape, mentally in shape especially, but physically too, you know. And because I was like, if I go to a circus, I think it's not going, I don't know, I'm new in the circus world, maybe it's not going to my...
It's tough on the body, I mean, you know.
Yeah, but I felt good, so, but I was like, maybe the transition, maybe my career is not going to be as long, you know. So but it was a good experience too, to learn a lot of this, you know. And with Pascal, so I was dancing, and it was great in Germany. And then after 3 years, I became his assistant, and that was hard, because suddenly to become the assistant or the rehearsal director of your friends, it's always difficult to find the right tone, and you have a position where you're between the direction and the dancers, and that was difficult. But I learned a lot about human relationships.
Yeah.
Believe me, yes, especially with that. And also I learned how to organize a company, to as much as contacting, organizing auditions, contacting teacher, contacting choreographers. With Pascal Touzeau, it was great by his side to learn about that, you know, and organizing the life company, you know. So that was great. So,
I mean, you did transition from dancer to ballet master pretty smoothly for you. It was not like big question, what am I doing?
Not at all. And I think it's something that since NDT, or even when I was I liked to help new dancers, you know, to teach them the repertoire, because that was also NDT. I don't remember a ballet master teaching me the steps, you know. It was really the dancer. The ballet master was more the rehearsal director. He was like putting us together, you know, but we always learned with videos at that time, you know, or asking the older dancer, oh, could you teach me this part? Or, you know, so it was really, and I always loved to do that. And even with Nacho, there was a moment I said, oh, you know, I would love to become your assistant, you know, in the future. And he said, oh, we can speak about it. But then I decided to have another path, you know. So it's something that for me, I know I wanted to stay in this world and to be able to pass on some knowledge. Yes, and also I think I realized also that I keep learning about dancing. Even when I teach, I say, "Oh my God! If I had known that, if I analyzed that when I was a dancer, maybe this would have been better." You know. Mm-hmm. So I realize things now. You know, and so it was very smooth for me. That was something that I knew it was going to happen anyway. You know, so.
So that brought you to actually do what you are working on right now, right? It's like,
yes.
Would you like to talk to us about your project that you're?
Yes, I mean, right now I define myself. I am an artistic director. But I'm still a freelance. I'm a freelance ballet master. So after Pascal, because we had a bit of a transition, we had a new change of intendant in Germany, the director of the opera that changed, and then we all got how can I say, fired? Yes, just to thanked, exactly. Thanked. We not needed anymore. Let's say, yeah. And so I decided also to have a break also, because from my dance career to Ballet Master.
And that's important, right? Because
yes.
what you told me earlier, that you were really tired, and it's important to also take breaks between
yes.
things that, you know, like not keep on going non-stop from one thing to the other.
No, I mean, the reason and the anxiety was like, okay, I have to continue. I have to find a Ballet Master somewhere, you know, I have to but then I was like, no. I learned a lot. I think I need a break. Also, I need to consider about my personal life, because as a Ballet Master for 3 years, I was very happy, but my personal schedule was so only for the dance company that I had no space to breathe on my own, you know, to think about, and it was my choice, you know, I don't regret that. I couldn't even think about me dating somebody, having a relationship, or thinking about anything else, because I had no time, you know, and so I was like, okay, I'm 43 years old, maybe it's time to look back on my life, personal life, and then I decided to say, okay, I'm going to take a break, and I had the opportunity to move to Spain, to Barcelona, and to contact companies where I go and I share my ballet classes. I share to some schools my workshops. I can give workshops from different choreographers, so this is great. Also, I give an improvisation workshop. So I try to share all the knowledge I have, you know, from Punchu's class to not floor bar, no, but you know, floor contemporary movement, let's say, you know. So it's what I'm doing, and also I'm assisting lately a choreographer who is called Jeroen Verbruggen. He's Belgian, very talented, very creative, full of imagination. So it's great to see the new generation of young. Also, he's not even 40 years old, and from today. So it's great to assist him. And when I'm not working with him, I try also to teach around.
But I'd like to know about your little baby. You know?
Yes, okay. Also now, there was a moment of my life, I was like, okay, I think I have to create, I don't know. So it's not that I was thinking, suddenly I was writing down a project. I said, I need to have my own project, yeah, because I'm depending on others. So I was in Spain and I was observing the situation in Spain, which is not new, because since I'm a dancer, I met all over the world Spanish dancers that say, yeah, in Spain there are not enough dance companies. We always had to move to finish our studies abroad because there is not enough. So my goal was, suddenly I said, I would like to create like a youth company, but a youth company professional, at the image of the Jeune Ballet France, like the first company that helped me a lot. And because there are young company, young ballet, young ballet in Spain, but they are from school. So the dancer, they have to pay to continue there. You know, it's nothing for free. And I say, okay, I want to try to find the funding and to really give a dancer coming out from their school the first formation, a bit of money in order to know how to be independent also, you know, So how I learned in Jeune by France, yes, professional.
To become a professional, a stepping stone for that.
So for 4 years, I'm working on that. I create dossiers. I saw hundreds of people in the dance world. And of course, it's not working because there is no government in Spain. So they're changing all the time. So they don't support, especially ballet dance is not supported by institution in Spain.
What about sponsors?
There is no mecenat, it doesn't work in Spain. So I heard, but every year I heard that they're gonna work a law that help people to sponsors, you know. If there is a law, there is also I would say exchange, you know, so they get less taxes, for example, to be paid. So, but it doesn't exist. So that's why it doesn't work like this. And I tried everything. So I was like, okay, this is not going to be possible. Then the pandemic arrived, and I said, okay, I'm gonna concentrate on creating first a show. Because also for me, the people are saying, but you know, you're only here for 5 years in Barcelona. You're not known. You're not a known choreographer. We have plenty people here in Barcelona doing a job for the most 20 years, and they don't get even, you know, support. So first we will go to these people, you know. So I would like you have to let yourself known first. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to create first a first show. So it's the last summer. I decided with my own, I made a crowdfunding with my own savings. I said, okay, I'm going to at least make the show, record it, and try to sell it. And it's what I did. I had great 4 dancers, an actor also, because it was about the story of ballet. And
you want to bring that to schools, right? You also want to make it
exactly, because for me it's important that I want to it's an educative project. So it's telling the story of dance or the evolution of the society through ballet and through music. So everything which is together, you know. So for me it's like to go to school, to educate them, to interact with school, with dancers, to explain them what is ballet dance, to inspire, like a history lesson, for example, you know, exactly, to be part of that. And I got support by a teacher from normal school that I know. They say, if you have a show, I will come with all my students, for example. You know, I had a few schools, they were telling me that. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to try to sell. And so far, I didn't succeed to sell because in Spain, yes, I don't know. So far, it is not working. I don't know how to say more.
So you're going to cross fingers because you're not going to give up on that.
No, I'm not giving up. I won't take, I'm sure somebody suddenly will say, okay, I have the money to give you a premiere because I need to have a premiere in a theater. Once I have a premiere, then everything I know people everywhere in Spain that will produce it. But I have to have this first show, which take my sleep away, you know, because I don't know how to.
COVID 2 years. So let's go to that. How was those 2 years for you? How were those 2 years? What happened mentally, emotionally, physically?
Well, I don't know. I grip on. Do you say that? And to my project.
Yeah.
So I was like writing down my project even better. I wrote like a lot of dossier. I was still doing video video meeting online, with director of company. So I didn't stop about my project. I stopped teaching around, but was only for 6 months. Mm-hmm. Then I was lucky, thanks to Jeroen Verbruggen, we had still jobs that, for example, we were not capable to do it on for public, but at least on streaming. Mm-hmm. So still, we succeed to work in between the lockdowns, Okay. So for me, it went very fast. Was not pleasant, of course, but was not as smooth as a normal year of job, but was not a nightmare, let's say, for me.
So, what is the thing you like the most about dancing?
About dancing.
What do you miss? If you miss anything?
If I miss, no, I don't miss dancing at all.
Okay.
I know. Okay. Because I'm so happy about the passing on and to coach. I'm so happy to coach dancers. So I don't look at them like, oh, I'm dancing. No, it's I don't know. I think most of the dancers I'm coaching, they're much better than me. So it's great to see, wow, beauty even better, on stage or on rehearsal. So I don't miss dancing at all.
So, but what is it that you love the most?
I love about the dance world. The dance world, I don't know. It feels like it completes me. It's my world. It brings me joy, beauty, sadness also sometimes. But most of the time I stay with the good times, or I don't know, a way of living, an education about life. Now all this what I love, yes, and for me, yeah, I think it's what I want to do the rest of my life. I don't want to die on stage because I'm not going to like Dalida. But I will be happy to be in a studio with dancers, until I say, okay, I have enough. And so far, I don't have enough because now I'm being a Ballet Master almost for 10 years, and it's still like I still feel like I still have a long career about that.
Mm-hmm. And is there anything you think, like that you could have done different in a better way as a dancer? Either emotionally, mentally, how you handled yourself. Is there anything that you think you could have done better? Oops.
It's a hard question because if I regret something, then where I am today, it will not have been the same, So regret, I don't regret.
No, but with your wisdom today, thinking, oh, this could have been different, without regretting even, but like, something that you see that was maybe your weakness and
I think wisdom came with maturity and with more knowledge. So I don't know. Yeah, until I was 30 years old, I was like a wild dog, So okay, I'm not happy about this thing, so I move on, Maybe a lack of patience, or that maybe. But I learned it afterwards,
And otherwise, what was your biggest challenge as a dancer, you would say?
Challenge was not really a challenge for me because everything was natural. But I can say that a big role that I danced was for me. I can say a challenge, but it was something that I danced from Matsek. It's a duet called Solo for Two that he created for thinking about his mother. But he created for Sylvie Guillem and his brother Niklas Ek, in the 90s. And for me, when I was working with Matsek, he was talking about his mother. I was thinking about my mother. He was thinking about his love life. I was thinking about my love life. I was so, it was me. It was the first time in my life I was dancing on stage, being myself, telling my story. So that was not a big challenge, but that was my big moment on stage, let's say, that I can recall,
Okay, but that was not your challenge.
Yeah, but I don't know a challenge what it means.
You're fantastic. I mean, you had no
No.
challenge. I mean, I'll subscribe to your life.
Yeah. I mean, a challenge is when you're freelancing, you have to, or as now, you have to look for jobs all the time. So for me, it's a challenge, this, because it's not easy nowadays, It doesn't make my profession easy. But as soon as I have a job, I forget everything, So maybe that's the challenge of today. Because now freelancing is harder and harder, especially because of the pandemic, I mean, the pandemic is a bit the excuse, but it's true that it's
it added to everything got like.
So let's say this is the challenge now that I'm facing now, is to find jobs. Yes, to stay. My challenge is I want to stay freelance because I love this life. So maybe that's the challenge of today. But as a dancer, I don't remember. That was. I mean, it was not easy, but I cannot say it was like, oh, I have to dance that. Oh my God, how I'm gonna approach that? How I'm gonna dance that?
Not necessarily, but the physicality sometimes when you're tired. The demands on you. I mean, some people experience it very.
I mean, I'm paying it a bit now, but when I was dancer, I think I twist once or twice my ankle. I was never off. I never had a surgery. I think I was like hard as a rock, muscly. So I was blessed or lucky not to have big injuries. I never away from, so for me, that was easy, let's say,
Nice. So, no, it's nice to hear. So to wrap this up, if you had one advice to give to a young dancer that starts his or her career today, what would that be?
To get informed about dance companies, dance choreographers, not to just dance and not knowing what's going to happen, to have a vision, to have ambition, to say, okay, I'm going to finish my study because my goal is to go to this, to work with this choreographer or to be in this company, And if it doesn't happen immediately, be patient. The destiny will show you your path. It will come, But don't lack of ambition. This is very important. And I know today it's hard, but be patient and try to find energy to not give up easy. Yes, because I think there is a place for everybody in the dance world. Yes, definitely. Yeah. So everybody who works hard, who is passionate, and with that you develop your talent, And I believe a talent is not only natural. You have to work. You have to bring it up, And it's studying, working, experience.
Yeah, and as you say, be curious and don't just concentrate on the study part. You have to have a goal. You have to have a dream. You have to have a fantasy, right, about what you want to, where you want to go. Otherwise, it's hard to get anywhere. Exactly.
And also don't forget that you have to be happy to do it. Don't do it if you're ready. It has to bring joy doing that. Otherwise, your life is going to be miserable. If you, yes, no.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Sébastien. That was wonderful. I love your enthusiasm and, simplicity about things. It's very inspiring. So.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. No, I'm happy to be able to share. So.
So, I mean, anyway, if there is anybody wants to reach you, I will put in the video anyway your, some info about you, and
yes,
if you have questions, or because I think you can help a lot of people, with your fire for dance.
I hope so. Yes, I'm happy to help. I cannot pretend that I'm but I'm happy even if somebody asks me and say, oh, maybe I could put you a bit of light. Yes.
Nice. Well, thank you so much. And
merci beaucoup.
I wish you a beautiful day.
All the best for all your project of interviewing people. Thank you, Sabine, for everything. Yes.
Thank you.